If you're trying to get into an Ivy League school, you're probably grinding away your extracurriculars, writing your personal statement, and stressing about your GPA. But what if I told you that watching Netflix could actually increase your chances of getting in? Sounds ridiculous, right? I get it. You're probably thinking, Jack, I thought we were supposed to be studying, not binge watching Netflix all day. But here's the truth. Understanding how Netflix tells stories could be the secret weapon that makes your application stand out from the tens of thousands of others who apply to Harvard, Stanford, and Yale every single year. In this video, I'm breaking down why most applications fail, how storytelling is the most underrated admissions hack, and 3 powerful storytelling techniques you can steal from Netflix to craft an unforgettable application. And because I want you to be fully prepared, I've linked all my best free resources in the description, including the personal statement that got me into Harvard on a full-ride scholarship and my 10-page Ivy League personal statement and supplemental essay guide. Also, if you want free one-on-one college admission support with myself, be sure to make sure you're subscribed to the channel and fill out my website form at the top of the description because I select one new student every single week to help them reach their college dreams for free. Let's get started with why most applications fail. To understand why storytelling is the key to getting into an Ivy League, you first need to put yourself in the shoes of an admissions officer. Imagine this, you're reading 40 to 50 applications a day, sometimes more. Most students have near perfect grades and great extracurriculars, and almost every single essay sounds the same. Now, think about the absolute mental exhaustion of reading the same story over and over again for days or weeks at a time. You skim through the essay, see the same structure, the same predictable narratives, and within 30 seconds, you've already forgotten it. You know what I'm talking about, those typical storylines such as I joined a club, became president, and it changed my life. Or I love science and I want to cure diseases. Or I overcame challenges and now I'm stronger for it. These aren't bad stories necessarily, but they're forgettable because they're told in the exact same way as tens of thousands of other applicants. This is where watching Netflix comes in. Now, I want you to think about your favorite Netflix show. Why do people binge watch entire seasons in one weekend? Why do they feel emotionally attached to characters they've never met? Because of the power of storytelling. Netflix has mastered the art of making you care through storytelling. They hook you in immediately, they show instead of tell, and they make you emotionally invested in the journey. That's exactly what you need to do in your college application. If you can write an essay that grabs their attention, builds suspense, and makes your admissions officer emotionally invested in your story, you're instantly going to stand out and be memorable. So let's break down the 3 key storytelling techniques that you can steal from Netflix to craft an Ivy League worthy application. Technique number 1 is to start with a hook to make them want to keep reading. The first 10 seconds of a Netflix show is designed to grab your attention. Think about how a crime thriller opens with a dead body, a fantasy series throws you into an epic battle, or a sitcom starts with an outrageous moment. They don't waste time with boring introductions, and nor should your college essay. It should aim to do the same thing of having a really great hook. Let's compare these 2 college essay openings. I have always loved biology and I hope to major in neuroscience. Or, I was 10 years old when I first held a human brain in my hands. The second version creates intrigue. It makes the reader think, wait, what? How did this happen? Here's another example. My hard work and perseverance helped me to succeed in debating. Or as a better opening, my knees shook as I stood behind the podium. 200 eyes were staring at me. I took a deep breath, wiped the sweaty palms on my blazer, and opened my mouth to speak, praying my voice wouldn't crack. Which one makes you want to keep reading? The one that makes you want to keep reading is obvious, and the goal is to make your essay impossible to skim over. You want the admissions officers to be hooked from the first sentence, and if you want to see what a great Harvard opening looks like, I've actually managed to research and find 10 successful Harvard personal statements, which you can check out in the description and read in your own time, and you will see that every single one of them has an extremely compelling hook. Step number 2 is to show, don't tell. Think about how Netflix immerses you in a world. They don't say the main character was scared, instead they show it. Her hands are shaking, her voice cracks, the music intensifies. Your essay kind of needs to do the same thing. So here's an example of what you shouldn't do. I was nervous before my debate competition. Here's a version where you show and don't tell. As I gripped the microphone, I felt my heart pounding like a drum. The timer on the wall blinked. 60 seconds left. If I mess this up, our entire team would lose. The second version pulls the reader into the moment. They don't just know what happened, they feel it. This makes your essay 10 times more powerful. So show, don't tell. And technique number 3 that we can steal from Netflix is making the admissions officers emotionally invested. Why do we get so attached to specific Netflix characters? Because their struggles feel personal. We see their growth, we understand their flaws, failures, and victories, and your college essay should do the same. In a lot of personal statements, students will just list their achievements and regurgitate their resumes. An example of this is, I worked hard and won the sporting championship. But the best stories show struggle before success. An example of this is, I spent 3 years failing, coming in second place over and over again. But every time I adjusted, I trained harder, and finally in my last season, I stood on that podium not just as a champion, but as someone who refused to give up. This makes the reader care about your journey. It builds emotional investment, and when admissions officers care about your journey and your story, they will fight for your acceptance once they get into the voting committee rooms. So if you want to get into Harvard, Yale, Stanford, or any other dream school out there, your storytelling skills matter as much as your achievements. So here's what you need to do as a little bit of a recap. Hook your reader in the first sentence, use vivid details to bring your story to life, and make your admissions officers feel emotionally invested in your story. Storytelling and mimicking the techniques of Netflix is how you stop your application from blending in and actually make Harvard excited to fight for your acceptance. And if you want step-by-step guidance of how to build a personal statement like this, I've linked my free 10-page personal statement guide in the description. So as we close out this video, hopefully you can see now that watching Netflix isn't a complete waste of time and could actually help you to get into an Ivy League school or any dream school. Not because binge watching TV is the key to success, but because great storytelling is the secret to making your application stand out. As always, if you want help crafting your personal statement or college application, be sure to make sure you're subscribed to the channel and fill out my website form in the description, because I select one new student every single week to help them reach their college dreams for free. Now go craft that essay that your dream school won't forget. Good luck.